Keep saying we should give them more, that we should give them jobs, we should give them this. We've given them everything. They've got the streets, they own the streets, and we're barricaded in our homes like prisoners.
Edna Buchanan has covered 3,000 homicides in 20 years as Miami's top crime reporter. She's an author now. Her new book, Miami, It's Murder.
These kids between 11 and 18 or so are the most dangerous people in America, probably the most dangerous people in the world. Because you look in their eyes, it's like nobody's home. There's nothing there. There's not even a hint of a conscience. They will kill you for a can of Coke, they'll kill you for your car, they'll kill you for nothing. If nothing else, if their parents aren't instilling values, if the school is so overwhelmed they can't instill values, then the only way to do it is by fear of punishment. That's how you make a child understand that they have to do the right thing, that bad things happen to people who do bad things. And so far, no bad things are happening to the people who do the bad things. That's why they think it's such a joke.
So why aren't more juvenile criminals taken out of circulation? Why aren't they taken off the streets and put into some kind of juvenile jail?
How can kids who get arrested 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, 20, 30 times, how do they keep getting out over and over again?
The numbers game's killing us. This has been an explosion in juvenile crime.
So there's literally, you're saying, no place to lock them up?
Nowhere.
Jim Toohey is the head of Florida's Health and Rehabilitative Services, HRS, the state's welfare agency that's also in charge of juvenile justice.
Clearly the system is sick. It is reserved, the beds are reserved for the worst case kids. And what's happening is worst case gets more and more deplorable each year.
But a kid who steals cars time after time, who has 15 arrests and more than 50 charges, he's going to keep committing crimes because he knows he can get away with it.
Clearly, the kids know how to beat the system. They're learning that crime pays. I mean, I think that that's what they're finding out.
Toohey says helping kids before they become career criminals will cost more money than taxpayers and politicians have been willing to spend. But the real crisis of crime in America, he says, is a crisis of values and accountability.
I start with the kid who pulled the trigger. I start next with the parent who has not spent any time with them, the father who's invisible, that never had any intention of raising the child, the mother who might have a drug, alcohol problem, sleeping with 15 different people, and that child in that home erupts into anger out in the streets when they get to be 13, 14. They're raised like wolves, some of them. And it's not society's fault. It starts with that kid who has to be responsible for their conduct.
So far, 9 foreign tourists have been killed in Florida since last October, and we are shocked by it. But at the same time, about 300 Americans have been killed in Miami alone. But that's the kind of violence that has become commonplace in America. After the shots heard round the world have died down, the gunfire at home is louder than ever.
We've become somewhat, I wouldn't say immune, but hardened to the fact of violence in our society. We should all be ashamed of where we are.
No place is safe anywhere. There is no place safe in America because these kids are out there and we're all going to meet them sooner or later. They're everywhere.
The police chief says that we've become hardened to all the violence in America, and he's probably right. Listen to this. 30 years ago, there were 8,600 homicides in the entire United States of America, 8,600. Now, in 1 year, there are about 23,000. Unfortunately, Connie, it's taken the tragedy of these tourists, our visitors, to open up American eyes to see what's going on around us every single day.
All right. Thank you, Bernie. In a moment, Joe Gallardo has done his time, but does that mean he's no longer dangerous? His neighbors didn't wait to find out.
They can think I'm sick, but I still deserve the right to live as a human being.
And still ahead, a dramatic turn in a story we brought you last week about a mother who ran away rather than give up her little daughter.
I live with the times. I expect progress, performance. Now, to diminish the appearance of lines and wrinkles, I've discovered Plenitude Advanced Wrinkle Defense Cream from L'Oreal.
After 90 minutes, skin is 44% more resilient. After just 3 weeks, wrinkles appear 20% reduced. With continued use, it combats the signs of new fine lines.
Discover Plenitude Advanced Wrinkle Defense Cream from L'Oreal to reduce the signs of aging.
Go ahead, make a wish. Then share it with your Allstate agent, who knows planning makes wishes come true, and who can outline a life insurance plan to assure family security and college funding and a comfy retirement are in the stars for you. So make your wish and trust it to your Allstate agent, who wants to be your agent for life.
Imagine you just stepped on the accelerator of an Eldorado touring coupe with a North Star system by Cadillac. Now you've passed 60 miles per hour and you're wondering, is this really a Cadillac? As you quickly approach 100 miles per hour. Of course, you wouldn't really do this because you're not a professional test driver on a closed track. But if you were, you could approach 150 miles per hour. The Eldorado touring coupe with the North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
Eye to Eye with Connie Chung will continue.
Coming up at 11, the ground keeps shaking in Klamath Falls. More aftershocks and more damage. Good evening, I'm Mike Donahue. In our report tonight, investigators say they have found the cause of Wednesday's Amtrak crash. We'll ask about the safety of bridges in the Northwest. Plus, we'll tell you why the Washington State Attorney General is suing one of Oregon's biggest furniture chains. And an 11-year-old's coast-to-coast flight ends in San Diego. Join us at 11.
This is CBS.
A 1993 Toyota 4x4. Nothing else comes close.
Lunch is always a thrill.
Leftovers.
Something to look forward to.
Ooh, tuna. Nummy.
A chance to be creative.
Bread and cottage cheese.
That's why there's a whole new kind of Lunchables. Thin sliced meats, creamy spreadable cheese with a touch of herbs and crisp crackers. A great new taste made just for you.
Now I'm liking this lunch thing.
4 new Lunchables from Oscar Mayer. Lunch will never be the same.
Entertainment Tonight, weeknights at 7:30.
What would you do if you found out a convicted sex offender was moving in next door? 23 states require sex offenders to register when they get out of prison. What's more, in Louisiana and Washington State, authorities are allowed to warn the public that they've been released. Once an offender is back on the streets, his rights often clash with the rights of a community that's trying to protect its children. Russ Mitchell has been following one case in Washington. Russ?
Connie, Joseph Gallardo spent almost 4 years in jail for molesting a young girl. He thought he had paid his debt to society. But now he says his real sentence was a life sentence.
I don't believe normal people think about how to torture and mutilate.
Take him out and string him up.
He doesn't stand a chance.
Potential for serious child abuse.
I'd be very surprised if he does not reoffend and be reconvicted.
I thought that if I went home and caused no trouble and bothered no one, young or old, that I might be able to lead a normal life. But that wasn't the case.
This is what happened to Joseph Gallardo's house the night he found out you can't go home again. Not to Linwood, Washington anyway. Not when you're a convicted sex offender.
There was nowhere that I could go. There was no safe place to be.
Gallardo calls himself an artist, but when police went to his house to break up a fight 3 years ago, they were shocked by his idea of art.
There were certain drawings on the walls of inappropriate behavior.
Snohomish County Sheriff Jim Scharf.
Pornographic in my definition. Conduct of victimizing young children that I think portrays an individual with a warped mind.
Police seized the pictures and, after an extensive investigation, found a 2-year-old complaint that Gallardo had sexually molested a 10-year-old girl. He pleaded guilty to 1 charge of statutory rape.
Main line, main line.
Is he a dangerous guy? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No doubt about it. No. Jerry Hover runs the sex offenders treatment program at Twin Rivers Prison, where Gallardo did his time.
Mr. Gallardo did something that was a sexual assault of a young child, says he did it, goes to jail. He writes that he wants to do worse, that he wants to kidnap, rape, mutilate.
No state is tougher than Washington on sex offenders. And when you hear what some of the men in treatment at Twin Rivers have to say,
I'm here because I raped my daughter at age 6.
You understand why.
Is there a possibility you will molest again?
If I would say no, I'd be lying.
If I was your neighbor, right, and I came up to you, Jody, and said, Jody, are you dangerous? Should I be concerned?
Yes. Yes. And you have all the right to find out about me.
And now everyone in Washington has that right.
The child I raped was 13 years old.
The state was devastated after a series of brutal sex crimes. The people said enough, and 3 years ago, pushed what is called the Community Protection Act through the state legislature.
25, 30 years ago, everybody knew who lived on their block, who the dangerous people were.
Tacoma prosecutor John Ladenburg helped write the law.
So this law is an attempt to reinstitute that back into communities.
It mandates registration for sex offenders and allows local law enforcement to notify the community when a sex offender moves into the neighborhood. And that's just what happened in Snohomish County when Joseph Gallardo headed home. Since 1990, when the notification law took effect, more than 700 sex offenders have registered in Snohomish County. 21 of those are what the state calls level 3 offenders, the most dangerous. None is as well known as Joseph Gallardo.
Latest picture, beware.
5 days before Gallardo's release, the county sheriff's office delivered this bulletin to the residents of Manor Way. That's the neighborhood where Joe Gallardo lived before his arrest.
This is the newest copy of him. Please watch out for him.
Here's some of what it said about Joseph Gallardo. Gallardo is viewed as an extremely dangerous, untreated sex offender. He has deviant sexual fantasies, which include torture, sexual assault, human sacrifice, and the murder of young children.
These can be stapled up right now on these telephone poles.
Alarmed parents made copies and passed them on.
Oh, that's how he looks now. Yes. They ought to chase this guy till his ankles smoke.
He looks like a totally different person. We want a composite sketch!
The day Gallardo was released, the parents of Linwood were meeting.
We want this guy to know that the fathers and the mothers out here are not going to stand for...
Just hours after that meeting, Joseph Gallardo's house burned to the ground.
We don't want him in this neighborhood.
I saw the people making threats of burning and shooting and mutilating and killing me.
Whoever did what they did to the house, more power to you.
Even scarier is I haven't been able to go somewhere else and escape that.
Gallardo, a free man, was now on the run. He fled to Deming, New Mexico to stay with a brother, but word got there ahead of him.
I'm not going to sit back and let my daughter be cut to pieces.
Stay out of Deming. We don't need him here. We don't want him here. We don't need his kind here. Just stay out of Deming.
Taking no chances, Gallardo left this town too.
Who do I talk to about registration for a sex offender?
A week later, he made his way back to Washington.
4190.
Convicted sex offender Joseph Gallardo has returned to Western Washington and is living in Seattle.
It's 12:21. I'm John Hinterberger. I saw Joseph Gallardo on television last night.
What about Joseph Gallardo? Where do you stand?
I wouldn't want him living next to me, I'll be honest with you.
Exhausted and homeless, he sought refuge with his sisters.
He was chased out of Deming, New Mexico, and I don't want this to happen again.
People deserve a chance to change, and that some people can, in fact, make major changes in their lives, and they can be rehabilitated.
But Seattle Public Defender Bob Arushewitz says the system does not recognize that. He thinks community notification can trample the rights of individuals.
if it's impossible to walk down the street, have a job, go to the supermarket, live in your home? What's the point of letting anybody come home?
Is that you? It's a picture of you right there. Take a look at that.
I've seen it.
Yeah. That's what they said about you. Any of that true?
No. They took my drawings, they took my writings, and they said that these were things that I will do. That is not the way it is.
Maria Gallardo believes her brother is innocent. She says his art is a kind of self-therapy.
Those writings are from his dreams, from his nightmares. That means there's dream police.
Some of them are a very graphic sexual nature. Some of them are of a satanic nature or occult nature.
You understand, Joe, that to most people that sounds pretty strange. It sounds sick.
That's okay. They can think I'm sick, but I still deserve the right to live as a human being.
Rare and priceless masterpieces, volume 4.
Yes, volumes 1, 2, and 3 being in the possession of the Snohomish County Sheriff's Department.
Joe continued his writing and drawing in prison.
I know it sounds silly. Some people draw horses. Some people draw dogs. Okay?
You draw little girls.
I draw children, and most of them are little girls.
These drawings and others are what made prison officials and the cops nervous.
The ones that led them to believe that I might be a threat.
They still have those.
They still have those.
The sheriff wouldn't show those drawings to us, but he did show them to some of Gallardo's neighbors.
That's not artwork.
No.
Sick. That's not artwork.
Very sick.
We saw mutilation. We saw a lot of sexual types of activities amongst young girls. And like I say, some of the things I can't even really describe.
Did the community overreact?
No, the community didn't overreact. One individual overreacted.
Do you think this poster had anything to do with Joe Gallardo's house being burned down?
Possibly so.
Why do you think the community reacted as it did?
Because of the words of Sheriff Scharf. I blame him 100%. He didn't have to put those words on that paper. That was his choice.
If he reoffends, tell me what the community response is going to be then.
The magic word is if.
I think the magic word is when.
So a guy like Joe Gallardo never can repay his debt to society.
I don't think an individual like that can repay what he has done to a young child.
And how many children will we lose because we don't want to touch the subject, because we don't want
to step on the rights of a sex offender.
Yeah.
What people want is to be protected.
But Public Defender Baruchowitz says the community might actually be safer if it gave people like Gallardo a chance.
And they will only be protected if people who are coming out of prison, having completed their sentence and done what we told them they were supposed to do, have a chance to make it in this society, having been punished and served their time.
Can society trust you?
I would ask society to trust me.
Can society trust you?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm not a sadistic rapist. I'm not the person that the poster portrays.
Ironically, one of the people who is not scared of Joseph Gallardo is this young woman.
I don't think that people should be kicking him out of his own neighborhood where he's lived for years and years and years.
Now 16, she was the 10-year-old. Gallardo pleaded guilty to molesting.
Do you think Joe has paid his debt to society?
I think he has. I think he's learned his lesson.
Can you help me?
If he wants to stay in the state of Washington, Gallardo must re-register with local law enforcement each time he moves.
Take your fingerprint and photograph it.
What rights does Joe have?
Joe, seems as though Joe doesn't have any rights anymore.
They need to take 3 pictures.
They say he's a free man, but he's not a free man.
I'm scared to death of where I am right now.
When the time comes for these men to leave prison, they'll find out the real punishment for their crimes.
It doesn't end when I get out. That's when it starts again.
Does the public have the right to know where you are, where you're going to live?
Before I would have said yes, but now I can't say that anymore. Now I will have to say no.
County treatment for sex offenders in Washington is not mandatory, and Gallardo initially refused it. By the time he agreed, it was too close to his release date. In any case, many experts will tell you that there is no proof that treatment for sex offenders is effective.
Thank you, Russ. When we come back, we'll have an update on a groundbreaking custody fight and a mother's flight. And later, it's supposed to be the hottest place in town, but in this town, that might not be saying much.
Say your family walks on your carpet 20 times a day. After a while, it's like a marching band went through your living room. Fortunately, there's new DuPont Master Life. Its 33% bigger fibers hold up better to heavy traffic. Oh, and did we mention the advanced stain protection? Now's the time to march over to your nearest Master store for the DuPont authorized carpet sale. But hurry, sale ends soon. Call 1-800-3MASTER for locations.
They pay half on whoever I call most. This is good. Sprint announces a whole new reason to switch to the most. So technically, I can talk twice as long for the same amount. Talk all you want. Sprint will split the bill on the person you call most. You know, this split the bill thing is so big that I'll bet everybody's going to start doing it. Maybe not everybody.
Call now and save 50% with Sprint's calling plan, The Most.
It's the same old thing every day, everywhere. Phones and faxes go here, go there. And time's flying and the day's a mess. Don't miss lunch, get Lunch Express. Lunch Express packs a healthy punch. It's wicked delicious, yeah, it's time for lunch.
Lunch Express from Lean Cuisine. 10 lean, luscious lunches. Nutritious lunches you microwave and eat right out of the box. All for around $2 each. Lunch Express from Lean Cuisine.
If you have a septic system and you don't maintain it, there could be a time bomb ticking beneath your house and a backup in your future. Better defuse that time bomb with maintenance and new advanced formula Rid-X septic treatment. New Rid-X has super digesters that can liquefy even paper, grease, cut the rate of buildup up to 30%, and it's still all natural and safe for pipes. So diffuse that time bomb with maintenance and new Rid-X super digestion for more backup protection.
Here's a second look at a story we brought you last month. Dr. Lenis Koukouris had come to New York from Cyprus to do his residency. One night last February, he was headed to the suburbs to pick up a date. Suddenly, he made one wrong turn and wound up in a strange neighborhood. He stopped his car. A man approached from another car. There was a confrontation. Less than 60 seconds later, Dr. Koukouris was dead, shot by plainclothes detective Tony Rossi. The Greek-American community was enraged when Rossi was cleared by the police department. But the district attorney eventually charged him with second-degree murder, reckless endangerment, and assault. Detective Rossi stood trial this month. Prosecutor James McCarty.
And it was the result of his criminal action that Dr. Lenis Koukouris is dead today.
Judge Nicholas Colabella didn't buy it and last week declared Detective Rossi not guilty of all charges. Dr. Koukouris' family and friends were shocked.
When he said acquitted on all counts, my God, he could have killed every one of us sitting there.
Rossi is back at work at a desk job. After the verdict, he expressed concern about returning to the streets.
I don't know what's going to happen if the same situation arises again. I don't want to get somebody else hurt.
And just last week, we told you about Kathy Thomas, a single mother in California who had asked a male friend to help raise her child. Kevin did, and then when they had a falling out, he took Kathy to court to get custody. The case would test what role biology should play in the definition of parenthood. When Kevin was awarded custody, Kathy Thomas took the child and disappeared. Edie Magnus is here with an update. Edie?
Connie, we now know that Kathy and 5-year-old Courtney were heading east by train, trying to stay one step ahead of the FBI. And then our program came on the air.
There was a picture of me and my daughter. My daughter saw the picture, and She commented, "Mommy, you're on TV."
Here's your camera, Mommy.
Kathy and Courtney Thomas weren't the only ones watching television in the Chicago train station last Thursday. Someone else recognized them and alerted authorities. When the train stopped next in Pittsburgh, mother and daughter were met by police.
I guess I am a felon. I don't feel like a felon. I don't feel like I did anything wrong.
Kathy says she ran because she was afraid of losing even more time with her little girl.
I know I've lost all visitation to her now, and I won't see her, and that he has one.
Tell her daddy's here.
Kevin Thomas flew to Pittsburgh for a reunion with Courtney. He's not her biological father. He's an estranged friend who helped Kathy raise her, and amazingly was declared the father and won custody in a California court.
Nobody here in Pittsburgh has told me what's going on.
That's because local authorities weren't sure Kevin and Courtney should be reunited. Gwen Elliott is a Pittsburgh police commander.
And we think it's in the best interest of this child at this particular time for her not to be separated from her mother.
The Pittsburgh Police Department, as far as I'm concerned, is cooperating in harboring a fugitive. It sends a message to parents who kidnap their children to bring them to Pittsburgh because this is what happens.
A judge temporarily revoked Kevin's custodial rights, ordering Kathy and Courtney be kept together until a hearing could be held on their fate. Kevin was granted a brief visit.
I held her for a long time, and she told me she loved me. She did ask when I left, who was she going to go with? And in my opinion, a child of 5 years old should never have to ask that question.
In the end, the judge ruled he had no jurisdiction in this case, sending all three of them back to California. Kathy to face criminal charges for abducting Courtney, but with newfound support from people who've rallied to her cause.
It's getting more national attention. A lot of people are outraged that a child can be taken from a biological mother to a non-biological father.
Kevin calls the actions of Pittsburgh authorities outrageous and offensive, but says the outcome was worth it.
Courtney's being returned to her daddy tonight, and for that I'm grateful.
Once they all arrived in California, Courtney did go home with Kevin, and Kathy went to jail. Connie, she's being held on $120,000 bail, and she'll go to court on the criminal charges of abducting Courtney early next month.
Thanks, Edie. We'll be back in a moment.
What's IBM doing for customers these days? Ask Harley Davidson.
Our customers don't like to wait, so IBM helps speed things up. Getting parts orders going used to take us over a day. Now it takes about a minute.
Ask Managed Health Network.
Thousands of people call us for help, and our systems needed to keep up, so we called IBM. Now a job that once took an hour is getting done better in 20 seconds.
You want a partner who delivers results? Talk to us. There's never been a better time to do business with IBM.
Sorry.
It was delicious.
How about a cappuccino?
You have a cappuccino machine?
This may take a while.
From Maxwell House. Maxwell House Cappuccino. The magic without the machine.
This is great. John, show me how the machine works.
Getting some new stuff for the place? Why not get a Ford Citibank card first? Then 5% of the curtains, 5% of the sofa, 5% of every purchase you make goes towards a new Ford or Lincoln or Mercury. Now, what other card in your wallet is worth that much? Now you can get something that really hauls, or something that really hauls with the Ford Citibank card. Now this is a better idea.
Go ahead, ask her age. I'm 34.
42. 29.
Who do they think they're fooling? Everyone. New Maybelline Revitalizing Makeup. Age-denying coverage. Outwits fine lines. New Maybelline Revitalizing Makeup.
I'm 40.
Maybe she's born with it.
If you miss Angel Falls tonight, you'll miss a husband torn between two lovers.
I love you, Julie.
A grieving mother's desperate act.
That's what you think. She ran away.
And a teen date that gets out of control.
What happened between us was rape.
Don't miss Angel Falls, next on CBS.
Why would these two guys be living together again?
You want coffee? Sweep up a cup.
Jack Klugman and Tony Randall. The all-new Odd Couple movie, Friday on CBS.
Russia's struggle for democracy took another historic turn this week. Russian President Boris Yeltsin dissolved parliament 2 days ago, called for new elections in December, and put his own future on the line. While the political revolution in the former Soviet Union may be far from over, we've spotted a sure sign that the social revolution is now complete. Just this past weekend, the first New York-style nightclub opened in Moscow, and the club organizers had to import just about everything, including some stylish Americans.
From Russia with love.
Even for a jaded fast-track crowd like this one at New York's Kennedy Airport last Friday,
We're going to eat lots of caviar and drink lots of vodka.
Moscow is a little far to go for a night on the town. Unless, of course, it's free.
All I thought of when I saw the invitation, I thought that someone must have sold a small missile to pay for this.
A large, opulent nightclub in the middle of Moscow. It's crazy, it's decadent, it's depraved. And I'll be there.
There's no distance too far to go for a good party.
We've got t-shirts, we've got jeans.
While the jet setters prepare to get some shut-eye on the red eye, 5,000 miles away in Moscow,
She's cute. Just give her a haircut. Yeah.
the American consultants to the club, Manhattan Express, review their Russian troops.
So really, you can look at Sunday night like a big cocktail party.
Workers put the finishing touches on the best seats in the house and the glitter globe.
And you gotta line these up.
Okay. We will try.
And the architects, famous for New York Studio 54, reminisce about some of the little things that still make Russia, well, Russia.
Here, it's like a whole root canal to get 6 phone lines. We practically have to call Boris Yeltsin. Containers that were supposed to be in St. Petersburg are really in Rotterdam. Why they're in Rotterdam, nobody knows.
I'm in Moscow.
This is it.
The big time.
But the red carpet is here. It arrives with the Americans on Saturday morning, as do the uniforms that fashion designer Gordon Henderson designed for the club's door people.
That's $30,000 in clothes?
More than 30, that's $150,000.
And back at the Rosia Hotel, site of the new club, here are the door people, receiving their last-minute instructions on techniques for separating the hip from the hopeless.
We know that we will get many businessmen, but it is going to be my responsibility to help you learn how to make a decision about someone who may not have a lot of money, but who looks very cool. If you're going to accept them into the club, smile, thank you, come in, nice to see you. If you're not going to be able to let them in, say, I'm terribly sorry. You know, it's a private party tonight.
Meanwhile, in nearby Red Square, our cameras spot some prospective customers.
More?
I'm terribly sorry. It's a private party tonight. Anyway, it's probably safe to say that communism has never been more dead.
The ruble is meaningless. The only place that takes rubles in Moscow today is McDonald's. In a way, it's chaos. It's capitalism at its most free form.
At last, the Sunday night opening. No, not here. This is your typical Russian nightclub. But here, 100 feet away, where the jet set finally meets the da and yet set, and a few brave Russians take their first baby steps towards funkiness. Dancing, like democracy, is harder than it looks.
This is a Goodyear Aquatread, and this is a gallon of water. Aquatread's deep groove design channels water away. At highway speeds, it moves a gallon of water every second for outstanding wet traction. Aquatread, only from Goodyear.
Businessmen are coming to their senses, their fashion senses. Because during the JCPenney Fall Wardrobe Sale, they're finding tailored clothing that doesn't cost a crazy price. They're discovering Stafford & Hager business wear that makes good business sense. Plus a selection of other sensational suits. And check out these shirts at 15 to 25% off. The Fall Wardrobe Sale. To those who care about dollars, it makes perfect sense.
Since Maxwell House Light gives you the rich taste of Maxwell House coffee, but with half the caffeine, you may want to get a bigger cup. Maxwell House Light, now also an instant, and good to the last drop.
One day your husband tells you, honey, we're gonna be cowboys. And then he bought a cozy ranch out west.
This place does not look like the brochure.
Mostly because it's no longer 1957.
Bo Bridges and guest star Lloyd Bridges.
Are you getting a divorce, Mom?
No, dude. I'm getting a truck.
Hearts of the West premieres Saturday.
Next week, an eye-to-eye investigation. 4 Americans disappear and are murdered. And 9 years later, the mystery is finally solved. But why are the people involved not being punished? And why are they being paid by the U.S. government?
The DEA is paying them $3,000 a month.
Correct.
Paying their medical bills.
Correct.
Paying their families' medical bills.
Correct.
They're getting paid for killing my son.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see Eye to Eye again next Thursday. Good night, everyone.